Grand Rising, beloveds, and welcome. My name is Sheena with The Way of Namaste, and this is our community prayer circle. This is a little practice that we've started doing on Sundays just to gather in a collective field of limitless potential and just to share some sacred space together. So, as we give it a few minutes to allow some people to get settled in, let's just begin creating sacred space. I've already got some candles lit, and I'm going to go ahead and just burn some more sage here, just offering some sacred smudging to our altar here. This is an invitation for you, if it feels in alignment, just to begin to settle into the space, noticing the quality of the air that moves through you today, and just noticing how deep are your breaths. Are they shallow breaths that you're feeling in your high chest cavity? Or are you allowing those deep, deep breaths to come all the way to the base of the perineum and moving slowly flowing through the chakra system? So let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths together. Just breathing in through the nose, feeling the energy moving all the way from the root chakra to the sacral, to the solar plexus, to the heart, to the throat chakra, up the third eye, and up to the crown chakra. Just ascending up into the heavens. And on the exhale, feeling that violet spiral, that spiral of transmutation coming down through the crown, down over the third eye, over the throat chakra, these diamond crystals cascading down your body, through the heart, through the solar plexus, through the sacral, that space of creative potential, down through the roots. Now feeling the soles of your feet as they connect down to the diamond crystalline core of Mama Gaia. I've got another candle here, an altar that I'm going to go ahead and light for us. We've got some sacred tobacco that we've offered her as well. I'm just going to go ahead and let all the angels and guardians and guides know that we're here by just creating some sound. So let's go ahead and take a couple more deep breaths, just really settling into the space. You know, we will be using this time up until 11:10 to settle in. So you've got plenty of time to grab some water that will bless, that will charge with our prayer today. Plenty of time to whip up some cacao or some tea. So just whatever feels in alignment for you to ground into this sacred space that we're creating through the breath, through the element of water and earth, through our herbal allies, through the power of fire, lighting our candle, through the element of air, just acknowledging the way that we are breathed today. Go ahead and take a couple deep breaths. Again, just in through the nose. Maybe holding for a beat at the inhale. Just maybe allowing a smile to wash over your face. Maybe a conscious moment of gratitude. What are you grateful for in this moment? Speaking that silently to yourself, and then on the exhale, releasing out through the mouth. Just feeling the whole body begin to relax. Doing this a couple more times, holding at the top and just acknowledging something in this moment that we're grateful for. So I've got a deck of cards here. I've got a million decks of Oracle and Tarot cards, but I always ask, which one wants to be shared today? Where is the message that wants to come through today? And it was Michael Singer that came through that said, let's pull from the Living Untethered deck today. Next year, 2026, we move into the year of the horse. So I'm really, really loving the inspiration of our horse guardians and guides on this planet right now. These earth angels, these dragons, these embodied dragons right now that we are getting to experience in a myriad of ways, and even coming back into right relationship with them. You know, some of us changing how we relate to the horses, maybe less showmanship and more allyship, more alliance. And so today we have the sun in Scorpio. We're getting towards the end of Scorpio season. This is one of the darkest portals, if not the darkest portal that we go through each year. The Scorpio is represented by the element of water. And as we know, we're also in the age of Aquarius. This is new for us to be in this much water. We have a lot of water happening around us right now. And the Scorpio takes that journey as the scorpion at the bottom of the ocean floor, and it becomes the eagle that flies above with this majestic vision, holding a different perspective now that it's left the water, and now it's looking down and seeing things from a different vantage point. And that's really what Scorpio season allows us to do. It allows us to look at things with a fresh set of eyes, change our perspective on things, alchemize through things in order to just lighten up. And so, you know, we've seen this reflected in a lot of different mystical teachings right now. Many of us know that I am a big fan of the Gene Keys, a devoted student of Richard Rudd's. And in the Gene Keys, he shares about Gene Key 55, which he calls the dream of the dragonfly. And this is what we are collectively going through right now, which is this metamorphosis from the larvae, the element of the dragonfly that lives in the water. And then one day, the element or this dragonfly goes through this molting process, several of these transmutation process, and has this epiphany, climbs up a little stalk of grass, and before you know it, he's climbed up out of the water. And in that moment, as he comes up out of the water, the sun comes cascading its rays of light upon it, and it unfurls its spine and breaks through its shell. This sun starts illuminating these beautiful crystalline structure of its wings, these rainbow translucent wings that come through. And before you know it, the dragonfly takes off in flight, never to return back to the ocean, living in the waters anymore. And this is a beautiful metaphor and analogy of what we are going through as a humanity. We are climbing up that stalk and coming out of the water to feel the light of the sun helping us to grow those wings. And so let's go ahead. We've got a jumper here. Oh, that's just the, we got another jumper here. All right, so this one was just an advertisement for the deck. We're pulling from the Living Untethered deck right now. And the card jumping out from Michael Singer is conscious awareness. It says, people are trying to use the outside to fix the inside. Better to find out why it's not nice inside to begin with. So this is literally the journey that we're going through right now, is learning to live from the inside out versus the outside in. You know, there's always going to be so much distraction out there. But as we come into 11:10 now, we are going to start to tune in. And as we come into a moment of silence during 11:11, this is going to be our invitation to infuse this space in whatever way feels in alignment for us. We'll come into a moment of silence together. You may like to just focus on the quality of your breath and any messages that come through. You might like to speak your gratitude into this space, opening up this field of miracles. You know, when we want to magnetize things to us, we start by creating the embodiment of gratitude. So let's go ahead. We're at 11:11. Let's go ahead and drop into the field of silence together. Taking another deep breath into the nose. And maybe letting it out with a sigh through the mouth. Let's go ahead and create our unified field, our group soul. So invitation to soften your gaze or close down your eyes if that feels in alignment for you. And just begin to bring your awareness now right to the center of your chest, right into your heart chakra. And here I invite you to begin to feel, sense, perceive, or imagine this emerald ray of light illuminating right through the heart. Just beginning to expand this energy outward. Breathing right into this field of unconditional love. And now being able to spread this around our temple space, beginning and ending with you. And here we are physically, literally, symbolically creating a field of unconditional love around our temple space. Just beginning to feel that love emanating, sending that love to the person to the left of you, receiving that love from the person on the right of you, knowing that we all sit in a round table in a circle. Nobody is higher than the other. Nobody is more chosen or special than the other. We are all special. We are all chosen. And here we feel this unified field of the unconditional love that we are. And on this next breath, invitation to go ahead and breathe right into that ajna space, this space between the brows, activating this inner sight now of our third eye. And here, invitation to begin to see, sense, feel, or imagine this indigo ray now illuminating from that third eye. And here, now we build this field together around our temple space of inner seeing, the ability to see one another clearly, soul to soul. And once you feel this connection of the ajna, this inner light, being able to send this now around our temple space, now growing this field of living intelligence from your ajna, the ajnas of everyone in our temple space. On this next breath, we'll travel a little bit higher up, moving our energy up to the crown chakra, knowing that energy flows where intention goes. So here we imagine, we perceive, we see this field of diamond light just above our crown. even seeing or imagining this as our halos. And here, let's go ahead and feel this diamond light pouring down from our crown chakra. As it cascades down, it illuminates that third eye and comes dripping down that throat chakra. His diamond light comes down into our heart, infusing us with this love, this wisdom, this soul light, this living infused intelligence. And now feeling these diamonds as they come down the solar plexus, the space of divine will, coming down even further into this sacral, the place of our creativity, of our sexuality. Now feeling these diamonds as they come down into the root chakra, the base of our body. And now let's go ahead and feel these diamond crystal lights coming down through our roots and sending them back down into the crystalline structure of Mama Gaia. Feeling now this vertical pillar of light that we've created from the heavens down to the crystal core of the earth. And here, once we feel this connection, this vertical pillar of light, let's go ahead and send these diamond crystal lights around our temple space. This is our divine essence that we're activating, our soul light, braiding together this unconditional love with this living intelligence, with this field of higher wisdom that comes through our divine expression of selves. Sending this energy through our temple space, beginning and ending with you, feeling it as you simultaneously receive it. And on this next breath, we will travel using this vertical pillar of light that we've created. We'll simultaneously travel to our source self as well as our center self. And here, just allowing your source to remember you. Allowing this field of silence to wash over us. This is the purest expression of your being. Notice how it feels to be witnessed by your higher self, your divine self. You may like to say to yourself inwardly, I am safe to go home. I am safe to return to the now. And here, from this place of our group soul, our unified presence that we've created together, we speak our intentions. We align with the highest and greatest good for ourselves, for each other, and for every living being throughout all time and all space. And we honor our sovereignty, the power of our free will. And here we call in our second intention. We align with the highest and the greatest choice. Choices for ourselves, choices for our loved ones, choices for every living being throughout all time and all space. We acknowledge and we honor the free will of every sentient life. Go ahead and take another deep breath in through the nose. Holding for a conscious moment of gratitude at the top. Maybe allowing a smile to wash over the face if it feels natural. And then releasing with a sigh. Just allowing yourself to come back into this present moment. You may like to stay in the meditative field with your eyes softened or gently closed, whatever feels right for you. So this week, according to the Gene Keys, we're navigating through Gene Key 43. And this is the shadow of deafness. And this is when we're consumed by distraction, that the world feels really noisy, that we're only hearing the surface level of what's around us, but we're actually distracted, or we're numbed out, and we're not listening to the frequency behind the words. So this deafness is when we turn off our own creative insight and abilities, and we start listening to the messages that are out there instead of listening to the revelations from within here. So when we go into that field of deafness, maybe we do that together and just placing our hands gently over our ears for a second and just allowing the outside noises to be muffled. And from this place, just beginning to hear the beating of our heart inside of our chest. Feeling the air moving in and out of our breath. And here we activate the gift of insight, allowing your hands to rest gently wherever they may. And activating this inner sight as we did before through the Ajna chakra. This is the awakening of the pineal gland. This is the activation of seeing one another, as we said before, soul to soul, seeing the world as it really is, not as we have been told that it is. This divine expression this week is that of Epiphany. And Epiphany is when we become the creative rebel. We are here to express. We are here to authentically communicate. We are here to leave our legacy behind, recognizing our word is our wand. The things that we create make this world better. Each of us expressions of the divine, the cosmos weaving its intelligence through us. And this epiphany is learning to live from the intuitive messages from the inside rather than just the programs of the outside. You know, epiphany is when we close down our outer senses and we begin to activate those clairsenses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, like all of these abilities that we all come with. But many of us have tuned out. It's too weird, it's too paranormal, it's too supernatural, it's not like everybody else. It's not supposed to be like everybody else, it's supposed to be like yours. You know, so this epiphany is when we actually act on the creative impulses. When we breathe deeply, we become inspired by the divine. And the divine will give us messages. This is the sacred rite of passage of annunciation, of when we receive the call and we're actually open to receive the call. And all of us will have a unique calling. Some of us will birth a business. Some of us will birth a baby. Some of us will create communities or stories or whatever it is that becomes our clarion call. But this is how we leave the world better than how we found it. So let's just enter that field of silence, of stillness together again, and just begin to call in our council of light, of ascended masters, of dragons, of archangels, of relatives, of ancestors, lancestors, plancestors, everyone who wishes to speak through us to us. We'll close for a moment of silence here, just allowing that council to share that epiphany with us. What is it that you are here to breathe into the world, to birth into the new world? I don't think there's anyone on our planet that now that's not feeling the shift in humanity, of shifting from one way of being to another way of being. And in some programs out there, it can seem apocalyptic as something is crashing and burning and falling away. But the invitation is when we tune into the frequency of our heart, is to acknowledge that a new earth is being born simultaneously through the ashes of all that is coming down. And so our sacred invitation is to be in the miracle field of frequency, to continue to create these moments of pause these times of stillness, when we can put our energy, our intention, our life force into what is emerging rather than what is coming down. Because this is a benevolent universe, and anything that is falling down means that it's not sustainable for ourselves and our future. 7 times 7 times 7 generations forward, and 7 times 7 times 7 generations back. We've learned so much from our ancestors. You know, my beloved and I were speaking this morning about just the power of technology, the power that we have right now to be in this field together, sharing the space of limitless potential, the awareness that we have around the atlas, the 3-eye atlas, around the cosmology of astrology, around the programs that are happening through the news and the media that tells us what's happening in different pockets of the world. You know, this is data and information that our ancestors never had access to. And what a beautiful thing that this is, through the powers of technology, to unify us, to give us a place to put our attention and intention to different places that need it, as there's world events that are happening. But also, as simultaneously, this is a great gift for us, it's also our sacred responsibility to notice when we become overstimulated by it all. The amount of data that we take in can bring us to the field of deafness, where we have to shut down, we have to unplug, we have to purify our vessels and detoxify from the amount that we're receiving. You know, even just from the solar flares that we're receiving. There is a download that comes in, and then there's an integration period that happens where we need to digest it all. And so may we allow that space for digestion the same way we allow the space for the scrolling and the watching and the downloading and the receiving of all of the data, because that's what collectively leads to that shadow of deafness, is it really is coming from the overstimulation. You know, our greatest currency right now is our life force energy. And that's why there are so many things out there that want to take it in. And so the most holy act of being fully divine and fully human is to transmute that consumption into creation, and to actually pour our energy into the things that we came here to create and to leave behind. So that's our message this week, is may we all leave this world better than we found it. May we tune into that creative rebel that's inside that says, I want to create something that the world has never seen before. You know, instead of falling into the place of imitation to replicate the things that we see over and over and over again, is how can we act on that creative impulse that says, chart a new way, innovate something that hasn't been here before, trust that if you've received the message, if you've gotten the download, if you've seen the visions, whether it came through the stillness of meditation or the astral realm of sleep and dreaming, know that that message came through you to you for a reason. Because when you can believe it, you can see it. When you believe in yourself, you recognize the limitless potential that you have to create a brand new world through you. So trust in that creative rebel this week, and infuse this day, this week, this month, this year with something that excites you. You know, something that you love giving your energy to, and watch how it changes your world from the inside out, because even just the process of creation is an alchemical process that will change who you are, that will change the fabric of your reality. And as it changes you from the inside, it's going to shift your world on the outside. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath. And on the count of 3, we're going to bring our palms together. We're going to rub some energy in between our hands, and we're going to blast it out into our temple space for everyone here and for everyone on the replay. One, two, three. Let's go. Woo! Tingling in my fingers. Now let's go ahead and take this energy back into us, our hearts, into our body. Recognizing everything that we give, we so generously, simultaneously receive. So thank you for being here now. Thank you for breathing your life into this space. Thank you for sharing your energy with others. Sending you so much love this week. Namaste. See you next week.